I want to change the world. I've been telling myself, I told my mother that when I was 7 years old. She asked me, what did I want to do? And I told her to play in the NFL. And she asked me, no, what do you want to do in life? And I took some time to think. I'm 7 years old, and I told her I wanted to change the world. And ever since that day, one of my biggest, greatest ambitions I've ever had in my life, I want to win a Nobel Peace Prize. If I can go to rest knowing that I've won a Nobel Peace Prize or I've done something in my life to alter or change the trajectory in millions of other people's lives and help them for the better, or even just do something to change the world or the way we operate as humans, I would be satisfied with myself.
Juju McDowell came into the year as the leading returning rusher for South Carolina with a lot of goals on his mind. Now, with an injury cutting his season short, he'll have to battle back to return to the field. But for a guy who wants to do so much more than play football, it'll be a minor setback. On Gamecock Talk, hear about Juju's dreams outside of the game and how he plans to change the world one day. So Juju McDowell, you are now the veteran presence in the running back room in terms of running back reps. You've thought about that, I assume.
Quite a bit recently. Yeah, I have. It's crazy. It's amazing. I've been here 3 years. It feels like yesterday I was just moving in 650. Time.
Flies, huh?
It flies. You can't watch it.
Yeah. You didn't think you'd be, I guess, the veteran, so to speak, this quickly, right? I mean, it kind of, like you said, it kind of has just happened overnight almost.
Yeah, being a veteran in the room so quickly wasn't something that I predicted off the bat. But since it's happened, I've been trying to do my best to embrace that role and be a stepping stone for everybody else inside the room, so to say.
Yeah. At the same time now, you're a junior, though, so it's not like you're an underclassman anymore, right?
Yeah, that's also been a big step. Man, approaching senior year is something to think about. That's why I'm trying to really take everything in day by day and have gratitude with everything I'm doing.
How has your role changed just from a leadership standpoint, a veteran standpoint, now that you've got younger guys who are coming in the running back room and also guys who haven't played the position as much coming in the room? How's that changed for you?
That's changed dramatically. You know, coming in my freshman year, I had the SEC leading rusher. I had, and Kevin Harris, I had a guy, Zaquandre Wright, who plays in the league. I had a guy, and Marshawn Lord, starting running back in the SEC. All those guys were in the room with me, and I was the young cat in the room. So that was a great exposure for me and getting to take everything in step by step and learn how to embrace the running back role. And now, seeing that I'm the older guy in the room, you gotta take a breath. But it's crazy. I've also been embracing that role. It's been fun. It's also rejuvenating. You know, you've been in this game for a long time. It's good to see some younger faces come in and give you that enlightenment that I gave the older guys in the room when I came in. And they keep me going. They keep me going, man. And my leadership role has also changed dramatically. As coming in, I was just a high energy team role player, and now it's almost as if I can change the trajectory of the team's energy in a few seconds, and I've acknowledged that role, and I try to do my best to hold myself accountable with that.
Let's talk about that a little bit more, because we've talked about your personality before. Everybody who's been around the team knows you got a big personality.
Yeah.
Where does that come from?
That comes from my mom. My people's growing up, she acted just like me. Well,
you act just like her.
Yeah. But yeah, just growing up, she always just taught me to embrace life. You never take anything for granted, and every day that you are alive and here on this beautiful earth, let alone getting to do what you love, is a blessing. So take advantage of it. And me personally, I feel like I've always lived my life by a creed, like, just what are you mad for? One day that you're mad, you could never get back. So, I mean, everybody's gonna be off, but, you know, why let that interrupt the trajectory of your life or your day. So gotta keep the smiles and the energy going.
You make it sound pretty simple and easy to do, but why isn't everybody like that? You know, like, how do you make it seem so easy to do that? Because bad stuff happens. You have a bad day. Maybe you're not getting the reps you want to get. All that kind of stuff. You lose some games, whatever it is.
Yeah, I've been battling adversity my entire life. So, coming back from adversity or learning how to overcome certain obstacles, it's just my life story. It's who I am. So that's actually the easy part for me. Being able to overcome things or pebbles in the ground that might try to slow you down and get back on track. That's the part that I love to do, especially when I have the opportunity to do the same thing for 100, thousands, millions of other people. That brings warmness to my heart.
Sounds like you've got some bigger goals than football in your life. Tell me about that.
Yeah, every football player, every athlete wants the highest, greatest accolades in their sport, this, that, and the third. Of course, I want to win a national championship, a Super Bowl, this, that, and the third. Everybody wants the Heisman. That's cliche to me. I want to change the world. I've been telling myself, I told my mother that when I was 7 years old. She asked me, what did I want to do? And I told her to play in the NFL. And she asked me, no, what do you want to do in life? And I took some time to think. I'm 7 years old, and I told her I wanted to change the world. And ever since that day, one of my biggest, greatest ambitions I've ever had in my life, I want to win a Nobel Peace Prize. If I can go to rest knowing that I've won a Nobel Peace Prize or I've done something in my life to alter or change the trajectory in millions of other people's lives and help them for the better, or even just do something to change the world or the way we operate as humans, I would be satisfied with myself.
I think I would be too. It's a pretty solid goal, and to hear that coming from a junior in college is super impressive. To hear that mindset started at the age of 7 is kind of crazy to think about, and it shows what your mom was able to instill in you as well. Let's talk about just more of that personality and how Coach Beamer and the staff allows you to show those kind of things and to be yourself, right?
Honestly, that's one of the reasons I'm comfortable here. That's one of the reasons I came here. The first conversation I ever had with Coach Beamer, he was getting off of the plane on his first visit to Columbia. He FaceTimed me. I'm a senior in high school. I'm getting ready to come move in. He called me. As soon as I picked up the phone, it was an unknown number. I didn't know the number. So as soon as I pick up the phone, it's Shane Beamer. I'm like, oh, I gotta tighten up. But I'm trying to get myself together and tighten up. As soon as he answered the phone, he's in a suit getting out the plane. He's like, what's up, man? This, that, and the third. Like, who is this guy? But ever since that day, I knew we would have that bond where I would be comfortable enough around him and his organization to be myself. And he prides himself in letting us be ourselves and portray not only to the team, but to the world who we are, but do it in a manner that we are representing the team. And I respect him for that, because there's nothing, I feel like, more than, there's nothing more you could do to help a student athlete at this age than allow them to be themselves. Because once you lose the fun for the game, it's over. And he embraces that, and he instills that in us. And with a person like me, it just takes it up a notch. And he's on the same level. Don't get me wrong, Coach Beamer will lock in a heartbeat, but he's he's versatile. I can put it like that. He's one of the most versatile coaches I've ever had in my life, and I pride him on that.
So when we're in an era now where so many guys look at other schools, even after they've already been here, or even, they've been here a couple of years, look at different schools, transfer in, transfer out, is that a big reason why you didn't really look that way, or you ultimately decided to stay here?
Honestly, I never thought about other schools or transfer portal or something. It's always been, the area of college football we're in, well, college sports, athletics, period. It's hot commodity, so it's always been a kind of aura around college athletics, and it's been talk here and there, but I've never been the person to let that sink in. My grandmother, she's always been another big influence in my life. She's always told me ever since the day I was born, you do something, you make a decision, you stick with it, and you do it to the end. Don't quit. You quit. Her and my mom always told me, you quit in one thing, you're gonna quit in everything. You quit in football, you're gonna quit in school, you're gonna quit in life, you're gonna quit on your wife and your kids. And I've never wanted to be that person. So I try to pride myself in being a solid, accountable person that I know people can trust to be the same person every day, not necessarily have the same mindset, but to present the same thought process. I don't want to be, I'm versatile, but I don't want to be undependable, as I think I should say. But other schools and all that, it never crossed my mind. I fell in love with Columbia, South Carolina.
Well, I mean, again, it's just an impressive, statement to what your family raised you, to believe and think, and how you've carried that on. Let's talk about, though, there was a shakeup in the running back room, and, we won't get specific, but just in terms of what it looks like this year, what have the coaches said to you guys? And there's been noise of people leaving, people coming, potentially coming, don't come, but when it's said and done, here we are in August, this is the running back room. What have coaches told y'all?
Nothing. Every day, Coach Beamer emphasizes, all we have is all we got. I'll never forget that. He says it every day. All we have is all we got. What we have inside this room, inside this building, is all we have. Nothing else matters. Nothing else is important. So every day when we come in the building, that's one of our first thought processes. All we have is all we got. All we have is on the walls, togetherness. So they haven't even really been saying or demanding much from that aspect. They just let us know, hey, this is the group. Coach Mo came up to us previously, and as a man-to-man, he told us, there's a lot of people counting y'all out. This is the group that we have, and this is all it's going to be. So let's make it happen, and that was that. So we just got to take it to the chin and prove everybody wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a challenge a little bit at the same time of like, hey, it doesn't matter who thinks you can do it or who thinks you can't do it. People in this building know that you can, so show us that you can, right?
That's all that matters.
So let's talk about your role this year, what you've been told and how you see it.
I haven't really been told much about my role, how I see it. I just plan on doing as much for the team as possible. If you put the ball in my hands, I'm gonna make plays. If you need me to block, I'm gonna go block. If you need me to cover a kick, I'm gonna cover a kick. I need to go punt pressure and cover somebody, that's what I'm gonna do.
Juju to his right. Out of the gun, counter play, back left. Juju open at the 10, the 5, steps up and high, steps into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Touchdown, Juju McDowell.
What blocking, Todd?
His second on the year from 17 yards out. Boom, what another good-looking drive from Carolina.
Let's talk about a couple spring awards that you got that I think go hand in hand with that. So you get a special teams award and a spirit award, which I think two things that I don't think anybody's going to be surprised about hearing, because those two things are kind of showing what you've talked about so far and your mentality and how you see the team. And so first off, a spirit award, I feel like that's pretty much right up your alley, right?
Yeah, that spirit award, I didn't even expect to get it. Because we was calling names out, and I'm over there talking to DK, like, who do you think's finna get this? And he looked at me and called my name, and excuse me, I'm not gonna lie, that was a special moment for me. Spring game, real game or not, just being acknowledged by the team, the university, my teammates, my coaches, and the community, that was a special moment for me. And my spirit and my effectiveness being acknowledged in front of the whole university as that team player, that person that always comes in with a positive attitude and brings a positive effect. That's one of my favorite awards I've ever gotten. And I got two SEC freshman, all SEC freshman awards, and that award means a lot to me, a lot. And the Special Teams Award, it also means a great bit to me, especially with how much we pride ourselves in special teams and not being the guy that takes special teams for granted because it wins and loses games. We that we've seen at South Carolina. But yeah, man, those 2 awards, I'm so grateful for those awards because I didn't even, let alone 2, I didn't even expect to get either one of those awards. And just knowing that my presence isn't going unknown, that did a great deal for me.
Quickly, I just wanted to talk about some of your goals for the year. You mentioned, you just want to be there to help the team, whether it's special teams, whether you're an every down back, whether you're a scat back type, or whatever it is, you want to be able to help the team and improve. So what are some of the goals that you have for yourself this year?
If I just had to use something to just express my goals, I would just say dominance. I want to show the world what kind of player I am and what I can do, not just for my team, but for the game of football. I want to be that electric player. I want to be the player that when the tape comes on, everybody's like, who is that guy? And if you're not like that, you're like, oh, that's him. I want to be that guy. Not trying to become selfish or anything or patronizing or anything like that. But yeah, if I had to say, if I had any goals this year, I just want to make my tape fly off the table. So whoever cuts on the tape, you're going to know that's a dude out there.
Juju McDowell's in the backfield, 3 backs in the backfield. Fake inside. And Rattler wants to go down the field to Juju. He's caught the 35, 30, 20. Got a Rayler run away at the 10, 5.
Touchdown. He got, didn't he? Didn't he make it?
He's down at the 1 yard line. They call him down at the 1. On 4th down and 1 at their own 35 yard line. They hit Juju McDowell, a lofted pass for 65 yards. Oh, quiet this crowd.
Before I let you go, since you mentioned tape, going back to what I would assume is one of your favorite plays in a Gamecock jersey, against Clemson on 4th down, leaking out of the backfield. I know we won't talk about that you didn't score. It's fine. We'll forget about that part. But just take me through that whole play and how big of a play that was. Again, we didn't score. It's fine, but it did change the momentum big time. Don't hate me. But I gotta know. I gotta know just about that play because it was huge. It's 4th down in our own territory at the time.
It was. So crazy. Interesting fact. We had been practicing that play for 2 years. Never ran it. 2 years straight, we practiced that play repetitively, over and over and over and over. Our offensive coordinator at the time, Marcus Satterfield, he would always tell us, the right time, we're gonna run this at the right time. And there were games before that, we were like, dang, coach, like, are you gonna run this play? Like, it was there, like, he was like, nah, like, I'm sorry, but right time, like, there's gonna be a time we're gonna run that play, and it's just gonna be there. So, we kept repping it, repetition, 2 years straight. Coming up after the Tennessee game, we were just playing free. It was whatever it was. You can hate us, you love us, but we're gonna play South Carolina ball. So coming into that game, we didn't even prioritize that play. It was in the game plan, like at the bottom somewhere, but that wasn't even, we didn't even expect to have to pull that out of the arsenal. The game just happened to be one of those South Carolina rivalry games, hard knocks down to the wire, and my number was called, and everybody in the huddle was like, okay, this is the time. It's the one. Actually, that was, like you mentioned, that was a game-changing play because if we wouldn't have got that, we would have either had to go for it on a 4th and medium or punt the ball away.
I think that was 4th down, actually. I'm pretty sure.
Actually.
Because we just ran the belly on 3rd and short, and we lined up in the same formation. It looked like we were running it again. So I think it was like 4th and 2 or something.
It was 4th and 3.
Might have been. Yeah, something like that. Either way. It was a huge play, like I said, because if we don't get that, then Clemson's got the ball at like the 30 going in.
Yeah.
So.
And, man, I just knew when my number was called, I had to go out there and provide. And Spence, he tapped me on the head, and he was like, let's go. So after that, I was ready. And we lined up, and we running the play, and it's working out exactly how it was supposed to work out, and Spence threw me a dime, you know. And I did the best I could with that, or whatever. I feel like I should have been in, but hey, we won the ball game. But that play, that was definitely one of my favorite plays since being here, since being a Gamecock. I didn't even play that much that game, That was my only play, actually. But that play will forever be in debt of and hold a spot in my heart because we did something for the culture of this program that day, and I was just glad to be a part of it. Of course, it was a good play, but yeah, man, that literally after that play, I believe we knew that we were gonna win that. We knew we were gonna win the whole time, but after that play, you could feel the opposing side begin to gain defeat. Like, they were like, oh, is this really happening? Like, they were losing composure, and that's when we dove in attack mode and just go and finish it out. I'll never forget that.
Well, Juju, here's to more 67-plus yard plays this year, and I appreciate your time, and good luck this year.
Thank you.